Irim Chris Eubank Jr. Number 3, Elijah Garcia. Number 4, Hamza Shiraz. 5, Shane Mosley Jr. 6, Austin Williams. 7, Liam Smith. 8, Liam Williams. 9, Maciej Sulecki. 10, Vincent Weigenboots. 11, Denzel Bentley. 12, Esquiva Falcao. 13, Matteo Signani. 14, Amilcar Viltal. And 15, Kazuto Takeshako.
Are there any comments from the floor on the middleweight division? Must have been a heavy lunch. El micrófono, por favor.
Is this working? Yeah. Hi, Tom Dallas again from Matchroom. You're probably getting bored of my voice now, so sorry about that. First of all, I wanted to say thanks for moving Austin Williams up to 6 from number 10 after his recent win against Steve Rolls, former world title challenger. However, I do believe that he's worthy of a top 5 rating. If you look at his BoxRec ranking, he's the number 1 rated American middleweight. I believe he's got a much stronger resume than Shane Mosley Jr.
I'm sorry, number 1 rating of what?
Number 1 rated on BoxRec in the
Please
USA.
don't mention BoxRec.
No problem.
Please don't mention Box. It is not a criteria for rankings.
I understand, but I do believe that his resume is better than Shane Mosley, who's 1 place ahead of him.
Jeff Cunningham at Boxer. This weekend, Signani will fight our fighter Tyler Denny. I just ask that in the future, after that fight of this weekend, that his rating be looked at if he wins.
I'm sorry, which fighter?
So Tyler Denny will fight Signani, number 13, this weekend, and depending on the results, I just ask that that's considered at the next meeting of the committee for a higher rating.
For the EBU title, correct? Okay, sure. There are only 2 comments for the ratings committee to consider the result of this weekend for the EBU title. Obviously, that will take place after the fight. And there's a request from Tom Dallas to switch Austin Williams with Shane Mosley Jr.
Okay, we understand Shane Mosley has a fight coming up, and when we were talking about that, we kept his position because of the upcoming fight. They're both good fighters. Shane, for us, has slightly better results. So they're there because of a reason, and we have Shane was number 7. He moved up 2, and Austin was number 10, and he moved up 4 places. So they're in the same relative places. We moved both of those up. They're the same fighter, but we like Shane this a little bit better.
I would like to recommend the petition is considered from a fighter who the committee decided to move from 10 to 6 is for a reason. And then Shane Mosley, when he fights, we can have a consideration after that result. I see merit from the petition to switch them. Unless the committee has strong objections. So it's accepted. Okay. So we will have switch 6 and 5, and that's the rankings for middleweight. Alberto, you can please proceed.
Is there a motion to accept the 1 change that was made and to approve the ratings as resulting? Going forward, moves Alberto Guerra seconds. All those in favor? Approved.
Please proceed with the super welterweight division.
Super welter. Champion Jamel Charlo. Number 1, Charles Conwell. Number 2, Sehi Boachuk. Number 3, Errol Spence Jr. 4, Jesus Ramos Jr. 5, Sebastian Fedora. 6, Erickson Lupin. 7, Brian Mendoza. 8, Israel Madrimov. 9, Yunis Teles. 10, James Metcalf. 11, Jack Kulkai. 12, Josh Kelly. 13, Rourke Knapp. 14, Sander Zayas. And 15, Callum Walsh.
Are there any comments on the floor?
My name is Donato Di Martis. I represent Ermal Adribia as his manager. Ermal is scheduled to fight this Friday during the convention, and we're very grateful and very honored for the opportunity. I just wanted to say that Ermal has been fighting championships in 2021, Mediterranean, then NBF Junior defended it, and then last year he won the international championship during the in Dubai when there was the Acapulco convention. Unfortunately, we couldn't come, and ever since we defended the belt 3 times. So my only request is that we would like to be in the best position or the top 15 ranking.
Yes, could you please confirm which fighter?
Is number 23, I believe, Ermal? No, 22, sorry.
Okay, the petition is for Ermal Ardebia from Albania.
Correct, from
to
Albania.
To number 15.
Top 15, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me. He's fighting this Friday. Oh, okay. He's fighting against former world champion Molina this Friday. Okay. Thank you. That was the same thing, Albert?
Same thing, and if Mr. Dean doesn't like it because he does always a good job, maybe after the fight.
Okay. Good luck on Friday.
Dear President Suleiman, I want to say about Israel Madrimov. I believe he could be top 5. In my understanding, he's higher level than Brian Mendoza and Sebastian Fundora. So I think he's a top 5 in the world in this division. So we'll be very appreciative if you can move him to top 5 position.
Ismail Madrinov 8 requests top 5.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Chico Lopez, and I'm here on behalf of Chuck from Ukraine. And his message is that his number 2 ranked Sergey Bohachuk from Ukraine, Continental of America's title. He would like to be open for championship. If anybody out there wants to organize a fight with him, he's open for that. He's looking for that position to become a champion.
Thank you, Chico.
Thanks.
Jeff Cunningham, boxer, representing James Metcalf and Jack Kelly, 10 and 11. I'd just like to know why James Metcalf has moved down and why Josh Kelly has moved down a place as well. So that's James Metcalf and Josh Kelly.
I'm sorry, you're talking about Jack Kulkai?
James Metcalf, number 10.
James Metcalf is number 10.
Yeah, he was previously number 9. I just would like to know why he's moved down. And Josh Kelly was number 11. He's now number 12.
Thank you.
Tariq Sadi, Fighting Spirit. I defend the right of Emani Kalombo. I didn't see him on the rank. Manny Calombo from Congo.
37.
37, yes. He was 33. He's the current, I know, IBF International. We are in WBC, but this guy on ESPN Africa show, and we're looking for him to come back in international title. I would like to discuss about him, and if we can move him up, it will be nice.
Thank you. So we have a few recommendations.
Mr. President, may I make a comment? And Dwayne Ford from the North American Boxing Federation. I would like to ask for better consideration for number 14, Alexander Zayas, who will be fighting again, defending his title for the third time this year. He'll be defending again in December 19th. I would ask that consideration be given to him to move him to 11.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay, so as a summary, number 22 will fight this Saturday, defending his international title this Friday here in Uzbekistan against former champion Molina. That result will be absolutely taken into consideration. For Ismail Madrino, who is number 8, there is a petition to be ranked number 5. Before that, if you could please explain why Jack Kulkai moved from 9 to 10 and why Josh Kelly moved from 11 to 12. Calombo, who is 37, will be reviewed, and it's not top 15, so it will be reviewed. And if you could please explain the Kulkai and Kelly.
Nothing against those two fighters. If you notice, our interim champion, Brian Mendoza, is now entering the ring, the ratings after his win over Fedora and then his loss to another organization. So you can see number 7, Brian Mendoza, entered the ratings, and we thought because his win over Fedora and his quality overall, he came in, and that's why they moved down one place. If you want to move Mendoza down and keep those the same place, that's why we played. We looked at Mendoza's record, especially his interim title win, and believed he'd run. So it's against those two fighters, Mauricio.
Yeah, I believe, are you satisfied with the explanation, Maxime? A fighter entered the rankings, that's why your fighters moved down one spot. Yeah, the question is, did you understand the one fighter, the former WBC interim champion Mendoza, who knocked out spectacularly Fundora, who went to Australia and lost a decision to Siu, has come back into the rankings at number 7, and consequently the two fighters moved one spot down. That's the explanation from the ratings committee. Does that satisfy your concern?
Yeah, I understand. Probably I'm just saying that the level of the boxer, in my understanding. But at the same time, as I know, Jesus Ramos, Sebastian Fundora has lost these fights, so that's why Israel Madrimov can be higher than them. Probably Brian Mendoza, can be stay in the 7th position because he didn't lose by knockout, just decision. So. But I understand, what Dean's saying. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, when a fighter comes in, there's natural movement down. So.
I'm saying about some logical movement, in the rankings.
Okay. Thank you. The only petition for the rankings committee to please look into it, Ismail Medrino, number 8, to. Oh, I made a mistake. I was trying to talk to Boxer. You have put, you accept, okay. So, number 8 to number 5 That's a petition from Maxim. Do you have any comments about this? Now we see that one of the reasons is Mendoza, who came in, Eric von Lubin, who is a silver champion, and Fundora, who is a former champion. Do you accept to remain number 8, which is a very good ranking?
Basically, yeah, I'm happy with number 8, but it's always up to you. So I was asking, if it's possible to move higher, but anyway, I'm happy.
Thank you. Please keep us informed of the activity, and we will certainly monitor. And thank you for your very good understanding. So the division remains as is.
Zayas.
I'm sorry. We also have a petition from number 14, who has defended 3 times the NABF championship. His petition is to be moved to 11.
When we look at these ratings, we look what's coming up for the fighters. And in the near future, number 12, Josh Kelly, is fighting number 30, Ryan Knapp. They were both ahead of Zayas coming in. With that kind of quality fight, we move Zayas from 15 to 14. And as soon as the Kelly or Knapp loser of that fight, he'll move up another position, maybe 2, depending how that fight goes. And plus, with him defending his NABF title, that will, especially the 3rd time, we value Dwayne 3 defenses. That shows not that he's using defenses; he's a loyal WBC guy, and it's the decision of the board whether they wait for the result and believe on our promise or make some action now.
Dwayne, are you satisfied with the petition of waiting for the 2 results of the fights, Sandro Zayas' defense and the 12 against 13, which is already signed and taking place, for the decision, or you would like to make a movement for a board voting?
My comment would be that 12 and 13 are fighting. So one of them may possibly move up and one's going to move down. So, but I would still ask for movement for Alexander, because that fight has already made 12 and 13. So it's not going to make any difference in my thinking. But if they could give consideration, I would live with what the board says or the committee.
Yeah, I believe it's consistent. The winner of that fight or the loser of that fight will move down. Naturally, Zayas will move up. And when he fights on defense, that will be considered for the higher ranking.
Yes, and he'll be fighting again December 9th.
Perfect. So by the next rankings, we're going to have that reflected. Thank you very much. So in essence, there's no movement. We do have certain specific fighters to monitor. So we will continue. Thank you. Voting.
A motion to accept the ratings as published by the ratings committee. Peter Stuckey makes the motion. Cowboy Walker seconds. All of those in favor, please raise your hands. It passes.
Welterweight division.
Welterweight champion champion Terence Crawford. Number 1, Cody Crowley. Number 2, Suleiman Sissoko. Number 3, Josh Taylor. Number 4, David Avanesian. 5, Conor Ben. 6, Giovanni Santillan. 7, Tulanim Mbenge. 8, Jamal James. 9, Abel Ramos. 10, Raul Curiel. 11, Yin Sasaki. 12, Steve Spark, 13, Adrian Bruno, 14, Royman Villa, and 15, Karen Chukachan.
Are there any comments from the floor on the welterweight division?
Hi, Mr. President, members of the board, rating committee. I'm here to speak of the two-times Olympic champion, Roniel Iglesias from Cuba. He's not even ranked in the WBC rankings.
Can you please state your name?
Yes, I said Jerry Saldivar from Golden Ring Promotions, and I represent Cuban professional boxing, the Cuban Olympic team. And I would like to, that Roniel Iglesias, because his outstanding amateur background, and he has made 4 bouts this year, and 3 of them 8-rounders. The last one, like 2 weeks ago with a Mexican prospect, to be considered in the top 25.
Right now he's 28. We will address in a minute.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, it's Jeff Cunningham again. Florian Marcu, I've just seen down to around number 30 on the list. I can't see him anywhere, and I just wanted to have an explanation as to why Florian Marcu does not appear here. He's got a significant resume. He is a talented fighter. He will be in big fights next year, and we want him to be in big fights against WBC ranked opponents. So, Florian Marcu.
I'm sorry, I do not understand the name.
Florian Marcu.
Florian
Marcu.
Florian Marcu. He was dropped because of inactivity. He has not fought in 14 months, I believe. That is the explanation. If you have any other information.
Well, he's likely to appear on the February card of Dan Aziz and Buatsi. There is another big fight that we are talking about with a highly ranked WBC fighter. And for him not to appear anywhere, even in number 40, I don't understand.
Yeah, inactivity, when you have 12 months without activity, you are dropped out unless there's a specific situation that can be evaluated. And we will pass that to the ratings committee.
Thank you.
I want to say about number 16, Shahram Giyasov. I represent you, President Suleiman, yesterday. He's fighting Pablo Cesar Cano on January 13. So I believe he should be top 15. Silver Olympic medalist. I believe he will be fighting for a world title very soon, probably next year.
Thank you.
Honorable WBC Commission, I represent right now Karen Chukachan, number 15, Ukraine. I don't know if it was taken into account or not. 2 weeks ago, Karen won the bout versus Pietro Rossetti, and he won by knockout. So it just for information, I just don't know if this bout was taken into account for this Ukrainian fighter.
He was ranked number 23 and has moved up, so it was taken into account.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hello, Mr. President. Phil Weiss from TGB. I don't have my contacts in, but I don't believe I see Kavalauskas. Now, I know he's been inactive since October of last year, but he was scheduled to fight Butayev, but had some visa issues. But we do.
I'm sorry, which is the fighter?
Kavalauskas. He was 6 last time.
Okay, he was number 6 and inactivity. And he is scheduled to fight in November?
He was, but there were visa problems, but we expect him to be able to fight in the first quarter of 2024. So we're wondering if there might be a place to put him back up there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, President. My name is Jeff Rajowski. On behalf of my good friend Thomas Babylon from Babylon Promotions, we have Jan Logic. He won the Francophone title. He's on 32 place. We have a serious problem back in Poland with an organization that you hate, as I hate too. We do not want to mention them, BoxRec. We have a situation with him where he's fought a couple times and they have not enlisted him in BoxRec. And his record, he just beat the top Polish fighter. Mateusz Polska he's Olympian, one of the best. He's in 32 place. We would love for him to get in the top 10, especially for a young fighter that's really working very hard. There's a couple of fights listed in his record. Like I said, we have a major problem with that organization. We don't want to mention their names. It's time for a change. I would love for Mauricio, you come up with your own box rank. It'd be beautiful.
Thank you. For number 32, we will look into that.
Francis Warren from Queensbury. I'd just like to second the issue with in Poland regarding BoxRec. I put 2 shows on and they are not listed on BoxRec, so that is definitely a problem in Poland. So any Polish fighters, I think, maybe their records don't actually speak, they're not shown properly. Back to Queensbury fighters, Eko Usman, he's the Commonwealth champion at welterweight. He also holds the WBC International Silver, but also the IBF European. And I understand that once, I only learned this yesterday actually, that is it correct that because he's held that IBF European, he has a 2-year ban for being ranked with the WBC? Is that correct?
Mauro Betti is not here, right? Okay. So I did not clearly understand. He's the WBC Silver International?
Yes, and also the IBF European. He holds that title as well. And I was speaking with Dean and Kevin yesterday, and they've informed me that he now has a ban from the WBC rankings because he holds the IBF European. Is that correct?
I believe that case was sent to you last month. And I wish Mauro was here. He's not ranked. So what is his name?
Eko Usman.
Yes, I remember very well that case.
If it's the rules, it's the rules. But what I'd like to present to Eko is his options and say, look, you can probably go one way or the other.
Exactly. He chose.
We held both titles, so he has to decide. But I want to give him his options. So if I could be made aware of those options, it would be helpful.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Just to one thing that was said about Mark Huey is he hasn't fought in 14 months. That's not accurate. He fought on the undercard of the Liam Smith Chris Eubank fight in September on pay-per-view. He fought on that card and won. So he has fought in the last 14 months, and also very recently, he should be ranked in the WBC top 40.
He fought this September?
September 2023.
Thank you. We have a petition 28 to 25 outside the 15, so you can look into it. Florian Marcu, who was ranked, we have just been told, get no notification that he just fought in September. Please look into it. We have a specific request for number 16 to enter top 15. We have Kalakaskis, who we have been notified that it has been for visa situations, but he will fight next year. I believe those are the only things that for you to please.
Okay, Mauricio, these cards are well aware that Florian Marcu fought Dylan Moore, knocked him out in 1 round on September 2nd in 54 seconds. These cards are well aware of that. They also know that he was stripped of his title, international title, which is why he got his ranking for no defenses. We need a better fighter, since he got his rating because he's international, than Dylan Moore, and then we'll certainly look at him. That was what our decision was, why he's not rated at the bottom. As for Logic, just so that the people in Poland know, these cards know that Logic fought twice. That's not on Baccarat. And that was taken into consideration. I don't know how these cards know, but they know. As for Kavaluskis, we checked that, because we don't want to take a number 6 fighter out. We did a lot of checking. We were aware of the fight. Our procedure is that he has to sign for a fight. You can say he's going to fight. He might not fight. It's not fair to everybody. We're consistent with that. When he has a fight scheduled, he's such a good fighter. We want the best fighters in our thing. As soon as he fights, we'll enter him in the ratings. As for Giasov,
I'm sorry, just a question.
Yes.
If he is Phil, does he have a signed fight or is it scheduled? Okay, so once he comes back to the ring, the committee will consider the position he had as high as number 6. So he's not starting from 0. Is that okay?
We start right where he was, basically, and look whatever activity there was. But we by our rule, we're consistent in our rules. And so, you know that as a lawyer, we need to be consistent, right? So, as for Karen, I'll pronounce them Karen and Giasov, both outstanding fighters. I heard somebody came in and talked about Karen, and then they talked about Giasov. So it's either one in the top 15. Both of them are deserving in the top 15. You just have to make a choice somehow. So we can make a choice for the Ukrainian or the Uzbekistan guy. The committee doesn't, we rated them even where he's at.
Well, I believe that Karen has received a very good up from 23 to 15. It would not be bad if Giasov goes to 15, Karen 16. Still, it's 7 points moving up. I believe that would be fair.
Just said it's fair, so he's the man of the year, so we get. I trust my committee. It's just not me.
Thank you so much. So we just make that switch, and the division is final. So Alberto, please.
Is there a motion to approve the division with the 16 and 15 switch? Domingo Matas moves. Do I see a second? Rex Walker seconds. All of those in favor, raise your hand, please. Motion passes.
Super lightweight.
Super lightweight. Champion Regis Progress. Number 1, Sandor Martin. Number 2, Richardson Hitchens. Number 3, Gary Antoine. 4, Jack Catterall. 5, Jose Carlos Ramirez. 6, Arnold Barbosa. 7, Ryan Garcia. 8, Lindolfo Delgado. 9, Jose Pedraza. 10, Jose Angel Rosa. 11, Steve Clackett. 12, Dalton Smith. 13, Sergei Lipinets. 14, Brandon Lee. And 15, Gabriel Valenzuela.
Good afternoon, Anthony Rudman for Eye of the Tiger. We are representing number, just waiting for the screen to come back, number 11, Steve Claggett. Thank you very much, Dean and the committee. Steve was number 15 before the update. However, Steve fought last night in Montreal, so I had the pleasure to watch his fight this morning. He is the NABF champion. He won the belt in June 2023 against Alberto Machado, the former world champion. Knocked him out in 3 rounds. He defended his title for the first time in September, and then for a second time yesterday, so 3 NABF fights in 5 months. And his opponent yesterday was Miguel Matueno. His record is 30-1, 28 knockouts. He won a decisive win on the scorecard, 99-91 twice and 98-92. A very, very impressive fight, all-action fighter. I would ask that we consider this win into the ranking that is shown today. And because of his activity, 7 fights in 2 years, and the level of the position, I would see him anywhere, for sure above Jose Pedraza.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, Tom Dallas from Matchroom. First of all, wanted to say thank you for the high ranking of Richardson Hitchens after his excellent win against Jose Zepeda. We have just 2 requests for this division. Firstly, Jack Catterall at number 4. I think we can all remember that fight against Josh Taylor for the undisputed titles, and I think everybody believes that Catterall won that fight. And really should be the undisputed champion right now. He just had another excellent win a few weeks ago against Jorge Linares, headlining a show. Kindly request that he moves up 1 place to number 3. And secondly, Dalton Smith, who is the current British Commonwealth champion. So he's now made 3 successful defenses of his British title, which means that he's won the Lonsdale belt outright, which is an excellent achievement. Pretty much all of the great world champions from the UK have won that British title on the way. He's headlining shows on a regular basis, and we have absolutely no doubt he's going to be a world champion. So we'd request a top 10 ranking for him. Thank you.
Francis Warren from Queensbury. Number 18, Pierce O'Leary, is your international champion. He's made 2 successful defences this year, and the last one being against a very durable Kane Gardner on points. The one before that was a fantastic first-round knockout. I'd like to request that Pierce is considered for the top 15, 14 or 15, just in recognition of his 2 defences this year. Thank you.
Hello, Mr. President and everyone. So I'm Takashi Misako, a promoter from Japan. So my boxer, so the super lightweight OPBF champion, Daishi Nagata, is now the 31 rated for the WBC. So I'd like to request for the top 15 because of the OPBF champion.
お名前ですか?
Daishi Nagata, number 31. OPBF champion. No, not 31, sorry. Last month, number 31, so the OPBF champion. Not.
What's that?
I see.
Nagata.
Nagata. Yes.
Nagata-san.
Yeah, Nagata-san. Yes.
Domo.
Please put in top 15. Thank you.
Phil Weiss from TGB. I wasn't going to say anything, but just on behalf of Russell, we certainly respect the fact that Hitchens passed him in light of recent developments, but with respect to Matchroom, I don't believe that the statement that was made about Catterall passing, going above Russell, was very compelling. So we would object to that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we have Roberto Duran in the room. ¿Cómo está, campeón? Campeón, ¿qué tal estuvo la fiesta anoche? Hoy sí va a estar buena. Bienvenido. Mire, véngase, campeón, le vamos a dar un regalo especial, véngase. So ratings, we have a lot of requests. Eye of the Tiger, number 11.
My president, may I just make a comment back to Steve Claggett? He had a tremendous win this morning or last night. And the fact that he's fought 3 times in 5 months, I would ask that he be considered to be moved to 9.
Thank you very much. So we have an ABF defenses from number 11, Claggett. Of course, last night result was not considered, so there's merit to look into this case. Jack Catterall is requesting a switch with Russell, which is being contested by Russell. Dalton Smith, number 12, requesting top 10. O'Leary, who was number 23, now is 18, requesting top 15. Nagata, OPBF champion, is not ranked. So we have these cases for discussion. While you discuss, we're going to give to Roberto Duran his championship hat that he has been asking for.
My sorry, my English no good. Pero usted me entiende, right? I'm very happy here in Arabia Saudita. Estoy contento aquí estar en Pakistán con todos ustedes, pasando un día agradable. Ya he aprendido cosas buenas. Que pura palabra sucia lo que uno puede aprender. Así que muchas gracias por todo. No me quiere que cante, pero yo cómo voy a cantar. Estoy tirando cráneo. Hay una canción que le canté yo a una muchacha. Estaba yo enamorado de ella. Pero ella tenía como 40 novios. Y le canté así. Si tengo que esperar por ti, no me interesas. Si voy a soportarte así, no me interesa. Las cosas que soñé, los sueños que forjé, me dan tristeza. Porque cuando lo realicé, no me interesa. Si ya no me hace palpitar cuando me besas. O quizás me llegas a olvidar, no me interesa. Las cosas que se dan, los sueños, ya se me dio la vaina.
Okay, Dean, are we ready to discuss?
As for Nagata, he won the OPBF title. What was the press for Nagata? Was it he was rated number 31? Yeah, no, yes. But what was the request for his rating?
Basically, he's the OPBF champion and he's not ranked.
I just needed to know what the position that he wanted.
The position that you assess, they will accept.
Okay. The reason that the committee wanted clarification and put this guy on hold, Amisha, is that he won the title, as I said, in December, never fought for 10 months, and he fought a guy named Kim in Tokyo, and he weighed 147 pounds. So
Misako-san.
So we had a question on that way.
Nobu, can you please explain to him, he won the title, never defended it, and his last fight was welterweight, 147?
147 exactly weight.
Nagata won the title, never defended, and he just fought welter.
Yeah, but so the last time, so the last fight, we try to get the opponent, the challenger, but so that we cannot find a challenger. That's why, so this time the non-title fight for the welterweight. That's why. Because next few months, so we will try to the defending championship.
So he is a champion?
Yes, champion now.
And he will defend the title on the next fight?
Of course.
Can we return?
Yes, sure. But we were in a position where we couldn't. We just needed information. It's lucky the man came here and we can do something about it.
Okay?
Thank you.
どうもありがとう。頑張りましょう。
Okay, the next one. Okay, Pierce O'Leary comes next. He was number 23, and he won. He defended his international title. We spoke with the chairman of that committee. He says he told us he's not quite ready for the top 15, just to give him as high as possible. We put him in the top 20. He is not a top 15 fighter yet. He's got plenty of potential. And you look at the people who are in that division, solid pros, and he's just a young fighter coming up.
Francis, from 23 to 18, and a good recommendation from the ratings, are you happy to monitor his activity for his next fight? Do you have the other case?
Okay. The next case was Jack Catterall. Jack Catterall was number 5, and he's already he got one place to number 4. There was a guy entering Hitchens in the ring. We had Russell. We looked at this very well. We thought that Russell had a better body of work, and so we moved Catterall for his last win was good, and we moved him up one position. We're quite right. Russell was number 2. We've already dropped to number 3, and he's unbeaten, and he's a very good prospect.
Dalton Smith?
And Dalton Smith, we moved him from number 14 to number 12. I haven't even pulled him yet. Okay, he's fighting what the British call domestic level, other British fighters, and we're making him to go to the next step and fight somebody in the European level, and then we think he's really good, and once he does that, he proves he can step up to the next level. We gave him 2 positions for his win, and he hasn't fought, even though he hasn't fought since July, and we still gave him 2 positions.
Thank you, Dean.
And I got Seb Claggett. You want Claggett too? Or you want to?
Yeah, let's do Claggett.
Okay. Claggett, as Mr. Ford said and another person said, we hadn't, because this win occurred today, my calculations came out to be 8 or 9, and I heard that they wanted number 8. That's what I heard. Is that what you want? 9? So we can go either one. So we're fine with 8.
Would be fine. Eye of the Tiger requested 8.
Yes. Okay. We're agreement with that. And doing a quick calculation.
Okay, thank you. Francis, we're trying to get moving. We need the mandatories to...
Okay. Would you put Pearson at 16?
We will leave it to the ratings committee. We're doing top 15, but we will certainly look into it.
Okay, all right.
And Boxer, you did not have any...
Well, we just have one comment. I think it's been missed that Frank Petterjohn is fighting our fighter, Adam Azim, this Saturday. Adam Azim is a huge prospect. He doesn't appear in your top 40.
We will look absolutely from the result. So, Steve Claggett to number 8. Catterall remains at 4. Russell remains at 3. O'Leary, you will look into. He's currently 18. You will see if there's any merit. Nagata returns to the rankings. And we will monitor boxer fighter after his fight this Saturday. Please let us know the result. Is that accurate?
I would agree with all those suppositions.
Is there a motion to approve the ratings in the super lightweight division based on the changes that have just been enumerated by our president? Rex Baker moves. Alberto Guerra seconds. All those in favor say aye, or I'm sorry, raise your hands. I'm getting confused here. A lot of hands up, so we approve.
We go to lightweight. Daniel, just say the name. You don't need to know. You don't need to say number one, number two. Just say the names. We will save a little bit time that way.
Lightweight title is vacant. Shakur Stevenson, Vasil Lomachenko, William Cepeda, Isaac Cruz Jr., Edwin de los Santos, Ramon Muratalia, Jermaine Ortiz, Frank Martin, Shuichiro Yoshino, George Cambosos Jr., Keyshawn Davis, Maxi Hughes, Denis Berinchuk, Zor Abdullayev, and Artem Arutanian.
Any comments from the floor on lightweight? I kindly ask you all to please, when the division is coming up, make a move. We need to get this going more fast because we need to finish ratings and do the mandatories, and time is running short.
Thank you very much, Jerry Saldivar from Golden Ring Promotions. I just want to talk about one of the bluest and exciting boxers, the bluest chips from the Cuban Olympic team that has proved himself in professional boxing. Some questions were arise last year when they make their professional debut, that if they will be exciting or not. Lázaro Álvarez, he's number 19.
He's number 19.
Yes. We would like to be him considered to be in the top 15, number 15, because he made an historic move. He won for the first time Fecar box title. So that's the first belt that from any boxing organization that travel to Cuba and stays to Cuba. And it was presented in the WBC Tuesday Coffee by Chiquita Gonzalez and Mr. Mauricio Suleiman. And
thank you, Jerry. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
The first ever Cuban boxer living in Cuba, winning a professional belt. Yes. He was a Fecar box title. I crowned him personally, and you're requesting from 19 to 15.
Correct.
Don Majewski, please.
Just very quick, he would like to make his defense for the first time ever in Cuba, first professional boxing event.
Thank you.
Speaking on behalf of Jimmy Birchfield, the promoter, for Jermaine Ortiz, he's requesting he goes from number 7 to number 5. In his last 2 fights, he lost a very close decision to Vasilij Lomachenko and then just beat Antonio Moran. So he's respectfully requesting he moves up 2 notches. Thank you.
Tom Dallas from Matchroom. We represent number 17, Andy Cruz. He's only had 1 professional fight, but that was a 10-rounder against Juan Carlos Burgos, who's a former WBC silver champion and former world title challenger. I think Andy Cruz is widely considered to be one of the best, if not the best ever pound-for-pound amateur boxer, Olympic gold medalist, many world championship golds as well. I think purely for the strength of his pro debut opponent and due to his exceptional amateur pedigree, being a legend of the amateur game, he should be considered for a top 15. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Mr. President. Again, Ahmed. Do whatever you want. Please keep 15 Artem, because I saw a request to move a great fight on 15. Do whatever you want, but leave my guy on 15. You want to go.
Okay. Thank you.
Just another one comment for Vasil Lomachenko. Everybody knows, so it's known situation. It's
Please.
okay. It's okay.
We're going to have Shakur Stevenson. He fights tonight.
Yeah,
So,
perfect. No. It just to mention, And Denis Berinchik, he had a fight at the end of August with Anthony Yigit that won the honor of EBU title. Denis Berinchik also was the honor of this title. So from my opinion, Denis Berinchik can be a little bit higher. Thank you.
Number 13, Berinchik?
Yes, Denis Berinchik, number 13.
President Suleiman, I want to say about Roberto Duran, number 15, former number 1 in the mandatory. Take into account his, his past, I believe he could be top 10, because he was number 1. Now living training in Armenia. Right now has an Armenian license.
Which fighter are you talking about?
Number 14, Zaur Abdullayev.
14?
Yeah.
Zaur Abdullayev.
Yeah, former number 1 WBC. Yeah, I believe he could be top 10.
Does he have a scheduled fight?
February, yes.
Thank you. So we have 2 requests from Cuba asking top 15. One is Alvarez, the other one is Andy Cruz. We have Ahmed fighting for 15 to remain at 15, whatever happens to the others. We have Jermaine requesting from 7 to 5, Jermaine Ortiz. Nicola about number 13, Berinchik. And number 14, Abdullayev, to improve from 14.
The first subject, start with Jermaine Ortiz. He wanted to go over Edwin De Los Santos. If he wants number 5, De Los Santos is fighting Stevenson. We've got his position. Murataya is probably considered the best fighter in that area, much clearer than Jermaine Ortiz. Jermaine Ortiz is in the proper position. If De Los Santos loses, or even Stevenson loses, we'll make a decision where Ortiz goes. But he's well positioned at number 7.
Yeah, after tomorrow, 2 spots are going to be freed up. The loser of the fight and the winner will go up to the champion.
So now we've got the spots to bring up. You notice there's no Fecker box there. Lazaro Alvarez with the Fecker box would get a jump, and with that title, he probably should go in the top 15 when we got a jump there. But we still, that would be after this fight. It would not be this month. Mauricio?
I would like to recommend, since the fight is in a few hours, within 2 days, we will adjust. We're going to have the official rankings when we finish this meeting, and we will just adjust in 2 days these cases because they have immediate effect.
Yeah, I'm very happy to do that. I didn't think that was legally, but as long as you make that option, now we can do that. So no problem. As for Berinchik, his last fight was against Anthony Yigit, just an average fighter. He won 7-5 in rounds in a close fight. If he could maybe go over Maxie Hughes, but Abdullayev is the better fighter of the 3, in our opinion. So that's where we stand.
Okay. So we will keep the rankings as they are, with adjustment that will come naturally from the results of tomorrow's fight.
Is there a motion to leave the ratings as presented with the condition that pending the results of Saturday, they will be adjusted properly? Doing for moves, Miguel de Pablo seconds. All of those in favor, please raise your hand. It passes.
Let's go, Daniel, with super-featherweight.
Champion Oshaki Foster, Pablo Vicente, Muhammad Yakubov, Eduardo Hernández, Shafkatson Rakimov, Masanori Rikishi, Michael Magnesi, Mark Maxau, Oscar Valdez, Leigh Wood, Jadir Pereira, Albert Bell, Abraham Nova, Kenichi Ogawa, Jamal Herring, and Yuno Karo.
Yes, please.
To our president and all the WBC committee members, my name is Davide Bianchi from Switzerland, and I represent the promoter Alessandro Branco, promoter of the actual WBC silver champion Michael Magnesi. This year was a very tough year for us. We worked so hard to make you proud, organizing 2 silver titles. We won the first title and we defended the second times a few days ago, and right now we are really thankful to you for your support, your care about Michael's career. So, but now I can ask you 2 things. The first, if possible, to put Michael in the first 5 position, in the top 5. And the second, if we can dispute a second eliminatory fight for world title, because tonight we reached an agreement with the command promotion to fight Masanori Rikishi in Japan.
So you are fighting number 5?
Yes.
And you want to switch?
Right now is number 5. Yesterday was not. So
No, you already reached an agreement to fight number 6 against number 5.
Yes.
That's it. That's good. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hello, Daniel Otter, 3 Lions Promotions. Just seeing if you can scroll down a bit there, Victor. Pedro Bernal.
If it's not top 15, let's leave it for later, my dear Daniel. Just give us the name and we will look at what's his name?
Pedro Bernal.
Pedro. Okay, Pedro Bernal. Okay, thank you.
I want to request that Jordan White, who was the WBC youth champion, the US WBC junior super-featherweight champion, now the NABF title holder, who won the title by 1-round knockout, to be moved into the top 15. He just fought recently, was not a very good fighter, but we anticipated boxing on Showbox, and we found out not only did date on Showbox, there is no more Showbox. So we cobbled together a fight quickly.
Jordan White is a sensational, great fighter.
And he's
Absolutely.
100% with WBC. We're going to fight
Thank you,
Pedro
Don.
for now, so I would like to get him in the top 15
Thank you.
anyway.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm from China, and my boxer Zhang Zhigang is currently the correct ABCU champion. How about now? So I'm from China, and my boxer Zhang Zhigang now is 13. He is currently the ABCU champion. So I wish
Shihan Chang,
Zhigang Zhang, yes.
APCO champion number 30.
Yes.
We will look into that.
He ready to the fight, and he have the scheduled fight in January.
Thank you so much. We will certainly look into the number 30 position for the APCO champion to look into that case, okay?
Yes, thank you so much.
Buenas tardes, vengo de Japón, Team Keijin, lo cual presenta al boxeador mexicanito Tomoki Kameda. Acá tengo, bueno, el ranking no está, un boxeador que se llama Francisco Javier Lucero. Me gustaría una consideración, sería poner dentro del número 20 en el ranking.
Muchas gracias, Francisco Javier Lucero. But he would like the ratings committee to look into it. We don't have any top 15. Oh yeah, Jordan White. His petitions to move from 19 to 15.
Okay, a difference. I see 2 results for that fight. The result that I've seen twice, that it was a 10-round decision. I've also someplace said it's the first round knockout. We need to do it. The fighter he fought had not had a win in 8 fights. When we don't raise a guy, no matter how talented, Dwayne NABF wanted him to fight for the NABF. Instead, they put a guy that can't hold his hands up, basically. If he knocked him out at 1, I could understand. He needs to fight opposition, and he didn't. We don't say he's not bad, but to fight that sort of fighter in a
defend the title, Dwayne?
No, he did not. They were asked to, and they did not. They wanted to have an easy fight.
He was a top fight. He's been coming up. We will monitor Jordan White.
So he doesn't get top 15.
Do you consider top 15 for
No,
Jordan?
I don't consider. He needs to fight a better fighter to be top 15.
He fought but he wasn't even scheduled for that fight. He was scheduled in Showbox, and Showbox is now out of business. So we were gonna fight a good fighter. He got that fight for no money. He had to sell tickets to get on because he just was in shape, and that's the first guy. We went through. I'm going to be very brief. I know the time is short. There is
Don,
a world.
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry.
So he's not in the top 15.
We're not going to finish the.
Okay, so he didn't make it. That's all I'm going to.
Yeah. Okay. Dwayne, please turn off your microphone. So the rankings stay as is.
Motion to accept the as is. Rex Walker makes the motion. Francisco Mata seconds. All of those in favor, please raise your hand. Passes.
Featherweight.
Featherweight champion Ray Vargas, Nick Paul, Isaac Dogbu, Ruben Villa, Mauricio Lara, Carlos Castro, Nathaniel Collins, Josh Warrington, Otabek Kolmatov, Joed Gonzalez, Michael Conlon, Raymond Ford, Ayato Chusbusumi, Victor Morales, Lerato Dlamini, and Mauro Forte.
Is there any comment on the floor on the featherweight division? Okay, we move. Please vote on the.
Salvatore Cherchi, Italia. Muchas gracias. Adiós. Buenas tardes de nuevo. TMK Gym, mi nombre es Tatsuro. Bueno, mi solicitud es que está en número 17, Tomoki Kameda. Solicitud es colocar nuevamente donde estuvo, número 14, o si no es posible, número 15.
Tomoki perdió su última pelea.
Sí, el mes pasado sí.
Y él va a tener una revancha.
Exacto, sí.
Vamos a esperar al resultado, ¿ok?
Ok, actualmente estamos hablando de ese tema, así que vamos a tener una revancha, pero aún no se sabe.
Tomoki Kameda lost his last fight. He's going to have a rematch. My recommendation is to wait for the result of the rematch. ¿Estás de acuerdo en esperar la revancha?
Si queremos, pero como había dicho, aún no se sabe. Entonces, mi solicitud era volver a colocar el número 15.
Si perdió, es difícil regresarlo, porque él perdió. Domo arigato.
Ok, gracias.
So the ratings will entertain a motion to keep the ratings exactly as they were published. Usinuishi moves.
Mr. President.
Yes.
Mr. President, I have a Peter Stocking. I have something. Number 15, the EBU champion, Mauro Forte, has an excellent record. He is unbeaten in 18 fights. He had a very sensational...
Do you have a specific recommendation, Peter?
I would like to move him up to number 12.
Does the rating committee believe Mario Forte 15 can move up to number 12?
Mr. Peter Suki has been a member of our committee for many, many years. I trust his judgment because of who he is. As Peter Suki says to me, it's okay.
So please make that a judgment, and we had already voted, so please confirm the voting, Alberto.
The original motion, I believe, was made by Hussein Huichi, and it was I thought it was Peter Stocky. So, do you second the motion with the change that was just made? Everybody in favor, please raise your hand. Pass it.
Super-bantamweight, please.
Champion Naoya Inoue, Luis Neri, Alan Picasso, Stephen Fulton, Murodjon Akhmadaliev, Lion Davis, Chinoy Worawood, John Real Casimiro, Sam Goodman, Yoshiki Takei, Azat Ovanesian, T.G. Doheny, Brian Mercado, Ionut Baluta, Jesus Arexia, and Toshiki Shimo Mashi.
Fidel from FK Promotions in Australia. Firstly, just a message from the Zapari Boxing Club, from Jesus and from Hector. They want to thank you very much for the high ranking that you allowed with Jesus Alechiega. And they're very thankful. Obviously, they're the guys that introduced me to WBC, so it's really good to see that you ranked them so high. Thank you. Secondly, Sam Goodman, number 8. I've been asked by his manager to represent him. Sam's had a couple of big wins in the last couple of fights. He's beaten 2 fights ago, Reyes Yalim, who was number 2 WBC. The fight before that, he beat TJ Downey, who I think was 5 or 6 WBC, who is still number 11 after some great wins. And last fight, just a couple of weeks ago, he beat Miguel Flores with a really easy unanimous decision. Now, this kid's on the rise. Yes, they're ranked in all the other bodies, but they've asked to get him ranked higher than what he is here in the WBC. They consider this the premium belt. We all agree when we believe he should be in the 3 or 4 there, because there are a couple of fighters there coming off losses, even if there were great wins, but they're...
Thank you for that. He was 10, he's 8. Do you have a specific petition?
We would like 4 or 5, yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Francis Warren from Queensbury Promotions, which is a really straightforward one. Ionut Baluta, who's number 13, holds a win over TJ Doheny, who's number 11. I believe that they should be swapped.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have 2 petitions. Batuta, who is number 13, defeated Doherty, number 11. They request a switch. Number 13 is requesting a switch with number 11 because he defeated him.
It's back in 2020, and a lot of water has gone onto the bridge. And let me look at Doheny.
I didn't understand what you say, I'm sorry. It's okay with you, you say?
It said that Doheny, the fight he's talking about happened in 2020. Since that time, this is Baluta and him, right? Since that time, he's knocked out a guy in 4 in Japan, and then knocked out our number 17 in the prior month in 1 round. So Doheny got it by 2 great wins in a row. It overlooks that win that they're talking about way back in 2020.
How about the activity of Batuta?
Batuta won over a 331-1 fighter. He beat a club fighter named, that's Madison. Okay, he beat Andrew Kane in a split decision that was very controversial, and then he had a technical draw with an unrated fighter. I don't think how you go that.
Okay. So it's a committee decision not to switch. We have Sam Goodman, number 8. He was number 10. They're requesting to be 4 or 5.
Maurizio Peterstock. Maurizio, I do not disagree with that, but I would not that our EBU champion Lion Davis would move down. He is correctly rated as number 5. So my request is to leave Lion Davis where he is.
The request from EBU is not to move number 5.
I would agree with EBU. And then we have our ABCO champ. And then we have Casimiro, a great 3-time world champion who's won 10 in a row over 5 years.
So it's a committee recommendation that
It's obvious.
is well ranked at number 8.
We have well ranked the fighter.
He came up from 10 to 8, okay. So the ratings stay as is.
Motion on the floor to keep the ratings as is in this division. Mike George and Mr. Laptev second. All of those in favor, please raise your hand. It passes.
Bantamweight.
Champion Alejandro Santiago Barrios. Vincent Astrolabio, Petro Shitpatana, David Qualia, Juan Martis Ayala, Navaponso Rumfisai, Ryosuke Nishida, Paul Butler, Frolan Saludar, Sho Ishida, Seiya Shumi, Nonito Doner, Keita Kurihara, Landy Skrike, Victor Reyes, and Charlie Edwards.
Are there any petitions from the floor? Sensational work by the ratings committee. There is no comments. We go to the next. No need to vote.
Motion to approve the ratings as published. Usin Huishi makes a motion. Charlie Giles seconds. All of those in favor, raise your hand. Approved as published.
Superfly, Juan Francisco Estrada. Roman Gonzalez, Carlos Cuadras, Pedro Guevara, Kenta Nakagawa, Shireshkaket Sor Rungvisai, Jair Raquinel, Andrew Molone, Israel Gonzalez, Norberto Jimenez, Ricardo Malachica, Pumelele Cafu, Yanga Sikibo, Juan Carlos Camacho, Sushimi Takayama, and RG Cortez.
Villacsan. Cho tomate kudasai. Hai, dozo.
Hello, Mr. President and everyone. So I would like to introduce my boxers. Number 4, Kenta Nakagawa.
Hello, Mr. President and everyone. I am Kenta Nakagawa from Japan. I am honored to be able to participate in this WBC Convention. Thank you so much. Gracias.
Thank you so much.
We are very, very happy to see Kento, the number 4 super flyweight in the world. As you know, Cuadras will fight Guevara tomorrow, so he will be moving up, and we wish you great success. Gambari masho. Domo arigato.
Thank you.
There are no petitions on the floor. Again, congratulations, ratings committee.
Mr. President.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. Did you go into the Superfly or am I ahead of myself?
I'm sorry.
No, we're in Superfly.
I would like to make a petition for Juan Carlos Camacho, who lives and fights at the door of the WBO. I would like to ask if the committee would reconsider and move him to 10.
Juan Carlos Camacho from Puerto Rico, sensational fighter.
Sensation.
Winning with great loyalty in Puerto Rico the NABF championship. I believe he's promoted by Cont Promotions.
Once again, I defer to an expert on the field. Mr. Ford, I respect his ability and his, just looking at this piece of paper. I would, whatever Mr. Ford promotes, I would second, please.
So Camacho goes to number 10, and that's official for the division.
A motion to accept the ratings with the movement of Mr. Camacho from 13 to 10. Rex Walker makes the motion. Husin Ruichi seconds. All those in favor, please say, please raise your hand. It passes.
Flyweight, Julio Cesar Martinez, Francisco Rodriguez Jr., David Jimenez, Seigo Yuri Aki, Christopher Rosales, Ricardo Rafael Sandoval, Hiroto Kiyohushi, Taku Kawahara, Miel Fallardo, Gadal Yafai, Tamanchai Sharungpak, Felix Alvarado, Samuel Carmona, Angelino Cordova, Josue Morales, and Dave Apolinario.
Hi, Tom Dallas from Matchroom. We represent Galal Yafai, who I can see there is number 9. So Galal was an outstanding amateur. He was the Olympic gold medalist in Tokyo. He's only had 5 pro fights, but each one of them has been for the WBC International. He did that from his pro debut. We just feel that with Galal, his rankings have been a bit flat and stagnant. He's kind of been in that 9 to 10, 11 range for quite a long time. When 2 months ago, he headlined a show for the first time in his hometown, and he's been very active. He's going to fight again next month as well in the US, so we're keeping him super active, defending his WBC international belt every time. We believe he deserves a top 7 ranking.
Thank you.
Perdón, ¿me permite hablar de Super Mosca? Todavía. Ya pasó.
Pero es algo urgente, ¿de qué número?
No, es nuevo que me gustaría solicitar dentro del número 15.
Dele a él el nombre y lo vemos con gusto.
Ok, perfecto, gracias.
Tariq Sadi, Fighting Spirit. I would like to talk about Jackson Shoki from South Africa. I didn't see him, if he's in the rank or not. 26, yes. 26. Yeah. If he can receive a small support, I'm his manager now. I'm co-manager with Damian Durant, and the guys is number 1 in South Africa.
Thank you, Tariq.
Okay.
No, we already received and we're going to work on it.
Okay, thank you so much.
So we have a specific petition. Yafai, he's a sensation. From his debut, he contacted the WBC and had a professional debut for the WBC International, which is unprecedented, has been very active defending the international title, and his dream is to become the green and gold champion. They are requesting to move to number 7.
What wasn't mentioned is that he was number 11. He already for beating a smaller fighter at junior flyweight. And sensational win. We moved him to 9, so he went up 2 places for that fight. Number Sandoval and number 6 both won this month. The next one is the OPBF champ. What position did he say, Mauricio?
He's requesting number 7 with the understanding that we have always discussed about exceptional, extraordinary situations. The promoter considers Yafai to be one of these cases, and the extreme loyalty to the WBC, but
Mauricio, I just talked about Mr. Ford, Mr. Suki, and now it's Mr. Suleiman. I will defer to all three of you guys and put them in the proper position. That's the first time, too, that I defer to Mr. Suleiman.
Thank you so much. I believe that it is a very reasonable, because I have been extremely close to this case from day one.
Yo también.
Is there a motion to accept the ratings with the one movement that was just discussed? Charlie just moves. Hussein Wichi seconds. All of those in favor, raise your hand. Motion passes.
Light-flyweight, champion Kenshiro Teraji. Shokichi Iwata, Carlos Canizales, Pania Pratapsari, Elwin Soto, Jairo Noriega, Masamichi Yabuki, Eki Butler, Junior Zarate, Reggie Sugarnop, Hasanboy Duzmatov, Shivenati Nonchinga, Azael Villar, Daniel Matelon, Marco John Remetiso, and Angel Acosta.
Thank you very much. By the way, Tariq, we're going to see the case, so don't worry, okay? Okay.
I'm Katsunari Takayama. どうかロジカルコンテナにしてください。Muchas Rodriguez. Muchas gracias a todos. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Put in his writings. For the first time, he got a... Okay. Thank you very much. Put him the ranking. He got his very first title WBC is 2005. At that time, the president WBC is Mr. Jose Sulaiman, Papa Sulaiman. He said, Takayama, you have to keep this title for 20 years. So he's still fighting. So please put him the logical contender. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Chotomate, Katayama is a former champion, as we said. There's no former, he's a world champion, and he is requesting to be ranked. What number is request?
Over 15.
Can you, can the committee please review Katsanuri Katayama, as he's not ranked? He is ranked? Oh, he's 19. He's requesting the 15th position with the consideration of his value as a champion of the world.
This time I was informed by Daniel Vandevelde that he agrees. I'm trusting that guy, the man on the moon, no. So by the time I'm done, I'm going to trust Stephen Alberto Leon.
Omedetou gozaimasu.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
President Suleiman, I want to say about number 10, Hassan Budusmadov, one of the best amateur boxers in the world. I wish he could be here. He's supposed to, but probably we do it so fast. Basically, he could be ranked 105 pounds because he beat number 9 in 105, his last fight, just a week ago. The guy from South Africa. So I wish he could be like maybe high, maybe 7, 8. So he has only 6 fights. Right now, he's ready for a world title fight. After 6 fights only.
So he is number 10 and he just defeated number 9?
Yeah, but not number 9 in the minimum weight.
Okay.
The guy from minimum weight.
So I don't know, we had considered that result recently. but number 10 is requesting improvement to 7. Heke Butler just lost for the World Championship, so I don't think that would be a problem. So there is a request from number 10 who was not ranked, but the credentials, he just defeated number 9, minimum strawweight, number 9, and Heke Butler just lost for the title defense.
He fought 105. I don't know why he's sitting there at number 10. He fought at 105 in that fight.
But he is light flyweight, not strawweight. Or he wants to be ranked in strawweight.
The fight that happened with a week ago, he was fighting 105 pounds. And he was fighting with the number 9.
What division he wants? 105 or 108?
105.
Okay. So he's asking to be ranked in strawweight. So the fighters, Katayama goes to 15, now 14 because of we're taking out number 10 to move to strawweight.
So there's a problem because I had Hassan Boy all the way to be strawweight. Maybe we just, late at night, we missed it. He's a strawweight.
Dean is actually right because he was fighting in 108 previous fight. But, you know, because he's...
It's okay, Maxine.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry to interrupt you. We have to finish.
Motion to accept the ratings with the movement of Mr. Takayama to 14. Rex Walker makes it, Bismarck Morales seconds. All those in favor, please raise your hand. It passes.
Okay, last weight category, strawweight.
Strawweight, champion Yudei Shigeoka, Luis Castillo, Alex Winwood, Joey Canoy, Jake Amparo, Pedro Duran, Melvin Jerusalem, Yoki Kobayashi, Garen Yagan, Reneiris Gutierrez, Chipamandla Baleni, René Marc Cuarto, Daniel Valadares, Chiacolwa Puse, Lito Dante, and Bagile Nyangani.
So, if I'm not wrong, number 10 Bellini lost to... so what number is going to be the recommendation to enter?
And he almost won every round. He was 9 rounds to not 1 for Dusmanov. Dusmanov is a fantastic fighter, greatest amateur there was. I would say about number 5 is a good position for him.
So if you could please modify to enter at number 5.
Thank you, sir. My boxer, Zhong Yujie, is a ABCO champion. Yujie is a ABCO. And I checked the ranking, he's number 24. I wish him into the top 15. He ready to the scheduled defending fight until the March.
Jui San?
Zhong Yujie, 24.
Oh, 24.
21.
Japanese?
No, it's 21.
21?
Yes.
Yes. You request top 15?
Yes.
We have a request from the ABCO champion from China for a top 15 ranking.
Thank you so much.
So there is only one petition on the floor, the Chinese fighter, which is a highly developed area. Kevin Noon, do you have any?
President Kevin Noon, WBC China chairman. We made a lot of discussion about this last night. Dean and I sparred it out. I would like to see him rise to number 19. Dean, if you're okay with that, 19.
So he will be moved to number 19 and will monitor the activity.
Is there a motion to approve the rating with the single movement mentioned before? Rex Walker moves. Is there a second? Usin Huichi seconds. All those in favor, raise your hands. Motion passed.
Okay, we have finalized the rating session. I don't know if we should take a 10-minute break or just go into the mandatories. What do you think? Whoever wants to go to the bathroom, go ahead. We're going to continue with the mandatory session, and we'll try to wrap it up within this hour. Okay. So we begin with the heavyweight division. The champion is Tyson Fury. As we all know, the fight against Alexander Usyk has been confirmed for the undisputed championship. The WBC has granted sanctioning of this fight with a specific provision of a rematch regardless of the result, unless there's no controversy. Yeah, given that there's no controversy or any major problem. So the WBC did make a ruling last year to have the mandatory process go through final eliminations. Those fights did not happen. At this moment, the WBC will not address the mandatory position. We all know December 23 will have many heavyweight fights that will be having effect on the rankings. So at this moment, there is no proposal for any final elimination. There is no rush. We have the champion of the world fighting for the undisputed with at least one confirmed fight after that, and there is no mandatory position process. Is there any comment from the floor? So that is a specific ruling on the heavyweight division. Bridgerweight, Lucas Rosansky is a champion. He has a signed contract to defend against Badou Jack. The fight has been postponed. At this moment, there is no date, but there is a guarantee because they have a signed contract. The WBC did approve an interim championship between Kevin Lerena and Senat Gashi, which will take place in South Africa, November 25th. And we will wait for the date of Rosansky against Badou Jack. Are there any comments from the floor? Francis, are you coming or? Wrong aisle. Oh, I thought you were going to come to the microphone. Sorry. So we will just continue monitoring the date for Rosansky to fight Badou Jack until Kevin Lerena. Yes, Don.
Got this interim title, obviously the 25th with Lorena. Is there a cutoff date? You know, is it going to be like April 1st? Because the fight with Badou Jack's been postponed. We just want to know when we can, you know, get a chance to unify the title. I mean, if they keep going on, is there a point that we say, okay, maybe it's not happening, let's order the fight between the interim and the champ?
Andrew Wasilewski communicated to us that he's in communications with the promoter of Badou Jack. They're waiting to firm a date, probably February.
All right.
So
okay.
at the beginning of the year, after Lerena and
Sawchik, I think his name is.
Gashi fight,
Yes.
we will have an interim champion. We will address that situation.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. The cruiserweight division, we have a new champion, Noel Mikaelian. We have a final elimination scheduled for December the 2nd between Ryan Rosicki and Oleg Janju Durodola. Daniel Otter is here, the promoter. You have any comments about the fights? Confirmed, correct?
Yeah, I would like to see if we could set a date within 90 days after the December 2nd final elimination bout.
We have not received any petition from Mikaelian for a voluntary defense, so we order that the winner of Rosicki Durodola immediately fights Noel Mikaelian. That is the first order.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
No, but we have to approve it by the board, so. That is, we will do the final voting at the end. We have a series of fighters that do want to fight the WBC Cruiserweight Championship. One is the EBU champion, Mikhail Sislak, Tabisu Muchunu, who has been waiting to have a fight, and Yamil Alberto Peralta from Argentina, the international champion, as well as Richard Diak-Por. I would like to propose to the WBC board a tournament between these four fighters to determine the second mandatory contender of the division. Does anyone? Please.
There is a motion on the table to by Rex Walker to approve the elimination tournament as the president has expressed it. Is there a second? Kevin Null seconds. All of those in favor, raise your hand. Approve.
I will personally make contact with the four fighters to confirm their availability. We will do a drawing to see who fights who, and then have the tournament proceed. Light heavyweight. WBC champion is Artur Beterbiev. He is making the mandatory defense on January 13 against Callum Smith. So the winner will have, of course, a year to make the next mandatory unless there's any situation. We were informed that Joshua Watsi will fight Aziz, and there is interest from Alexander Vosdik to participate and Anthony Yard to participate in the division, but at this time we have the mandatory coming in January. We'll just continue monitoring and having the rankings proceed as if. Any comments? Super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez, interim champion David Benavides. We have a Benavides fighting on November 25th against Demetrius Andrade. Canelo defended the title September 29, and we're going to monitor the fight of Benavides against Andrade to see the result. Yes, please.
Anthony Randman for Eye of the Tiger. We represent Christian Mbili. He's ranked number one by the WBC. He's also the Continental Americas champion. He won that belt in 2021, defended it 6 times since, and he will be fighting on the undercard of Beterbiev versus Smith.
I'm sorry, I got distracted. He will be fighting?
He's going to be fighting on the undercard of Artur Beterbiev against Callum Smith on January 13, 2024. He'll be fighting Rohan Murdoch, who's a very good fighter, 27-2, He's ranked in the top 10 of another sanctioning body. Considering the actual situation with Canelo, the champion, and then the interim champion is fighting against Andrade, what I would like to ask, firstly, is the final elimination bout between Mbili, number 1, and number 2, Munguia, or alternatively, to fight for, depending on what the winner of Benavides and Andrade decide to do, to fight for the interim title, if they fight Canelo, for example, if the winner fights Canelo. So that's the alternative request.
Thank you. Without a doubt, Christian Mbili is highly regarded in the WBC, has been #1 contender for an extended period of time, and he is one of the top prospects in the world. What I can guarantee is that he will not be overlooked. As you mentioned, there are a few different options of what could happen. We're going to rule on the mandatory situation of the division, but from there could be some options for Mbili to participate, whether fighting the interim champion, whether fighting a final elimination bout, or doing some process. So please be assured that Mbili will be absolutely considered.
We appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Regarding the super middleweight division, David Benavides is the mandatory contender. However, he's fighting against Andrade on November 25th. After the result, with the specifics, whether there is an injury, cut, whatever, but at this time, we confirm that David Benavides is a mandatory. If he's successful against Andrade, he is to be ratified as a mandatory contender for the WBC championship. Is there any comment from the floor, from the board? Okay, we move to middleweight. The champion is Jamal Charlo with the A. He is fighting on the 25th against Jose Benavides. This is a fight, a WBC special event without the title being at stake because it's been contested at 163 pounds. WBC has consistently supported Jamal through injury and through mental health status and situations. He's very close and very appreciative to the WBC. The WBC will assess, once this fight happens, to have him fight against the interim champion Carlos Adames, and we will assess the ordering of a final elimination involving I'm sorry, I was looking wrong division. We have Meirim Nusalov. He's going to be fighting this Friday. And after this fight, once Charlo fights, and he's going to order his fight against Adames. Is Phil Weiss still in the room? Phil, any comments regarding Charlo, regarding Adames from TGB? Okay, so we have been consistent with this matter, and we might be ordering a tournament on this division to find the new mandatory contender. I would like to see if the board supports the ordering of a tournament for this division.
Is there a motion on the table to support the ordering of a tournament for this division? Hussein Huichi moves, and Mr. Roberto Rilo seconds. All those in favor, raise your hand. Passes.
Super-welterweight, Jermel Charlo is the WBC champion. The WBC had the flexibility to go beyond making it possible, the ultimate fight for the undisputed championship. The WBC had the Castaño fight, it was a draw. The WBC ordered the rematch to be for the undisputed. At that time, we did order an interim to keep the activity and the boxers to have opportunities. We had Sebastian Fundora became champion and defended the title. He lost in a dramatic way to Mendoza, but they had a signed contract for a rematch. So when that rematch did not happen because Mendoza went to a fight in Australia, the WBC accepted Sergey Bohachuk to fight Sebastian Fundora for the interim title. Mr. Weiss, is this accurate? So this fight will be taking place for the interim championship. And there is no news about Jermel Charlo. The WBC had Charles Conwell winning an elimination bout. So I would like to propose that the WBC orders Charles Conwell to fight the highest available contender in a final elimination bout to challenge against either the interim champion or the world champion at the time. We have Errol Spence, Jesus Ramos, Sebastian Fundora, who is fighting Erickson Lubin. So I would like to make that proposal for having Conwell fight a final elimination against the highest available.
Dwayne Ford from the NABF, we would support that as a proposal and we would enter it in as a motion.
There is a motion on the table for the final elimination that the president mentioned. Is there a second? Mike George seconds. All those in favor, raise your hand. Approved.
Welterweight division, Terence Crawford is the WBC champion. He just conquered glory with an unbelievable performance against Spence, and the WBC sanctioned a fight. The WBC sanctioned a fight for the interim title with Mario Barrios. I would like to ask TGB if there are any specific recommendations or information that you can share about Terence Crawford or Mario Barrios. What did he say?
That I can share. If there is information we can share.
So there is no information of what are the plans for Terence Crawford. He won one of the greatest fights of the year and many years against former champion Errol Spence. There has been talks about a possible rematch, and Mario Barrios is the interim champion. So the WBC, I would like to ask the board a vote of confidence so I can talk to the highest available contenders, which are Cody Crowley, Sulaiman Chisoko, Josh Taylor, David Avinasian, Conor Ben, Giovanni Santillan, to understand what is the future activity of each one of them, and determine if we do a tournament or a final elimination to have the challenge against the interim champion Mario Barrios.
The president has requested a motion to organize a tournament and talk to everybody, see their availability, and see if a tournament is available. Rex Walker makes a motion. Who wishes seconds? All those in favor, please raise your hand. Approved.
I would like to take just one moment to address one issue. We are in a very complicated time where lack of authority, lack of order reigns in the world in almost every aspect. Society is different, families are different, sports and entertainment have changed and have evolutionized so much. Influencers have such an impact. Some of them are the greatest boxers according to the kids right now. You have television against streaming, and there's so many things that are moving our world in a different way. However, there is one common denominator for boxing, which is the undisputed recognition of the elite boxer. Fans and media and television network promoters consider undisputed to be something very special, to be extraordinary, above everything in an elite manner. And the boxing industry is not prepared to address an undisputed champion. The industry is not prepared with the rules that have been in place for 60, 50, 40 years. The structure of mandatory challengers and the rules and regulations complicate, and we often see a unified champion or undisputed champion lose recognition by any of the organizations. Terence Crawford is no longer undisputed. Jermell Charlo is not longer undisputed. And there is talks that the winner of Fury Usyk, after there's a champion, they will not be undisputed. So the WBC addressed in a different way this specific matter with a concept that in practicality was very successful, but it was killed by the media and the fans, which was a franchise designation. I believe the franchise served its purpose with Canelo. In the lightweight, it brought 10 great fights. In the super-flyweight, brought a great fight between Chocolatito and Estrada. The WBC board had a meeting, and we have been discussing a several way into addressing the undisputed situation. That is the reason why we are not reaching specific rulings as we customarily do. I wanted to clarify in depth that we need to move into the future and be clear and not hold hostage an extraordinary champion when you do not have the merits to have a mandatory contender. The mandatory contender has to be the best challenger possible for a champion. When you have an undisputed champion, the mandatory has to be the best available. So I thank the Board of Governors for the confidence for us to continue working on a way that the WBC will support undisputed champions, will support unified champions, and will continue to try to reach a perfect structure to continue having the elite at the top. Are there any questions, any comments about, is this message clear? We are not going to simply appoint a mandatory contender just to satisfy a process. We are not going to force a champion to fight against someone that is not worthy through a process of winning elimination bouts or having extraordinary credentials to be the mandatory contender. I brought Chico so he can applaud and make some noise. Super lightweight, Regis Prograis is fighting Devin Haney in the first mandatory defense of the super lightweight division. If Haney wins, he will decide whether he stays in super lightweight or returns to lightweight. The winner of this fight is obligated to fight Sandor Martin immediately as the second mandatory, as Martin allowed this fight to happen. Are there any questions or comments? Just 1 second. Okay. Lightweight, we have Shakur Stevenson fighting this coming tomorrow, Friday, against De Los Santos. As I mentioned before, we will wait also for the December 9 result to understand if Haney will come back to lightweight or not. So at this moment, there is no discussion. Shakur is fighting for the championship. We will see if Haney comes back or he will not. We will contact Vasil Lomachenko to understand what is his position. He's number 2. And we have sensational William Cepeda and Isaac Cruz ranked in the 3 and 4. Once we have this clear from the position of Haney, the position of Lomachenko, then we can address if there is a need to order a final elimination bout. Are there any comments or questions? Super featherweight, Oshaki Foster made his mandatory defense, his first mandatory defense from a vacant title. In a dramatic fight, he knocked out Eduardo Hernandez in the 12th round when he was behind on the scorecards. Mohamed Jakubov is fighting Pablo Vicente, final elimination November 25th. And that will be for the mandatory from this month for the next fight for Oshaki Foster. Rey Vargas must fight Brandon Figueroa, who is the interim champion. And at the same time, we have Nick Ball fighting a final elimination November 18 in England. Naoya Inoue in Super-bantamweight will fight against Marlon Tapales on December 26th for the undisputed championship. All 4 titles will be on the line, and the winner must make the mandatory defense against Luis Neri. Bantamweight, Alexander Santiago will be making a voluntary defense, and the winner must fight Vincent Astroviano, who is a mandatory contender. And he's represented here by Sean Gibbons. Super flyweight. We have the WBC Interim Championship taking place this Friday. Estrada was at the WBC press conference He's trying to finalize a unification bout in Japan. We have no news yet. If there is no resolution, then the winner will fight Juan Francisco Estrada mandatorily. Julio Cesar Martinez, the flyweight champion, will be making a defense on December 16, and then will proceed to fight the #1 contender, Chihuahua Rodriguez, on February. So I would like to order a fight as a final elimination bout between David Jimenez from Costa Rica against the highest available contender.
Is there a motion to order that final elimination bout? Alberto Guerra moves. Rex Walker seconds. All of those in favor, please raise your hand. The motion passes.
Light-flyweight Kenshiro Teraji just made his mandatory defense against Heke Butler. At this moment, he is completely free for voluntary defenses. We do have the final contender. I would like to also make that proposal.
Is there a motion to order a tournament to file to fill the mandatory positions in the division? Who makes the motion?
President, please a moment. Taking into consideration then the number 2 is the WBA mandatory. Cañizales. Only for taking account.
I'm sorry, can you repeat, please?
The number 2 of our ratings is listed at the WBA mandatory contender, only for the taking account for the tournament.
Okay, it's a tournament that we will address and we will process that. Thank you.
Okay, there was a motion on the table. Was there a second? Mr. De Pablo's seconds. All of those in favor, please raise your hand. Approved.
Champion, strawweight champion, Judoai. Don, would you like to say something?
No, just we're asking that the number 2, Alex Winwood, and
oh yeah, hold on.
Eliminated for the mandatory.
Champion Yudai Shigeoka and Don.
Yes, and we would like the number 2 contender, Alex Winwood of Australia, to box an eliminator, ordered eliminator.
We could not hear you, were looking down.
Okay. I am requesting that the WBC order the number 1 and 2 to fight a final eliminator for the mandatory position, Luis Castillo and Alex Winwood. I believe there hasn't been a mandatory since 2022, perhaps because of the COVID in this division. So this is a request we have on behalf of Alex Winwood, the 1 and 2 to fight to determine the mandatory.
I believe it will be a sensational fight with Luis Castillo against sensation from Australia, Alex Winwood, who's number 2. So there's a recommendation to have that as the final elimination.
Motion to make that fight a final elimination. Hussein Huishi moves. I see Mike George seconds. All of those in favor, please raise your hand. It passes.
Okay, one final thing. You requested about the cruiserweight final eliminator, the winner to fight for the championship, and you said you had to vote on it. I don't think we took a vote on it. I think you made the recommendation, but we didn't have a vote. Correct?
Don, I'm sorry, I'm having trouble understanding what you say.
Yeah, we brought up that the winner of the fight between Rosecki and Duradolo, the winner would fight for the championship. He said it had to be voted on, but we didn't take the vote, so it was requesting the vote.
You are right. Now we're gonna. It was accepted.
Oh,
so
okay. So then that's.
He is going to fight. It's mandatory. Noel Mikaelian must fight the winner.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, sir.
I want to emphasize my personal gratitude for everyone who is here from the boxing industry. I'm very happy to see so many members of the promotional companies to travel so long to be here at the WBC Convention. We have Diamond Promotions from Thailand, We have very good friends from France, Philip. We have Australia, Japan, China, USA, England, Italy, Germany. Where's Ahmed from? Turkey. So this has been a very long day. We had, I believe, a very productive day. And I just want to thank everyone again for the time, for the dedication, and every action that you do for boxing. This is an unbelievable time for the sport, but it's very challenging. There's going to be a event, December 23 in Saudi Arabia. I was there for the event that just happened, and I have never seen something like that. It was unbelievable. These are new, very exciting times, and it is very exciting to see what happened this year with 3 promotions by PBC, TGV, with gates over $20 million, with more than 2 million pay-per-view buys, to see DAZN broadcasting from many countries of the world, to see Japan with Inoue, to see the activity in Australia, in Thailand, in China, in the Middle East. Mexico now has 6 television networks showing boxing every week. But at the same time, we can sense a trouble time that we need to find unity. If we do not continue to search for the best fights to take place, for the best fighters to fight the best fighters, we're gonna have a letdown. So from the challenges, the sport belongs to the promoters who put their money and their effort for the activity, and the sport, of course, is for all the fighters. So the WBC Board of Governors, my deepest appreciation for your support, for your loyalty, your dedication. And I just want to praise the ratings committee. The work that you put every single day, because it's a key activity every week. I see all the communication is happening. Since the pandemic, the ratings committee meet once a month on a Sunday. Meetings that take place for 5, 6, 7 hours. People from all over the world connected. And it is just my deepest pride to have the best ratings committee in the world. Dean and your team, congratulations. God bless you. So we have reached the end of today's meeting. You are all invited to the talent show. It's going to be fun. At what time, Victor? 7 p.m. in the lobby restaurant where we have breakfast and lunch. And the press conference for the fight is going to take place right now in this room. Whoever wishes to stay, we're going to have a lot of entertaining things happening. Thank you very much. Have a great one.